Hello guys, so version 2.1 update is out and so is the phase 1 with Yuzuha and Miyabi being from the Spookshark faction and Miyabi from HSO6, both of them having by far the most value in terms of its class, with Yuzuha being by far the best support for anomaly teams and Miyabi being one of, if not the best DPS in the game. And she is also disguised as an anomaly agent, even though in reality her playstyle is very similar to attack class agents. So who should you pull for? That's what we will discuss in this video. Yuzuha. Yuzuha being a physical support and provide both damage and attack buffs to everyone, but she thrives on anomaly teammates, and if you want to use her to her maximum potential, using her on anomaly teams is by far the best option. Core passive, Whimsical Wonder. Her core passive, Whimsical Wonder, provides the following. When she enters the battlefield, Yuzuha immediately gains 3 sugar points, up to a total of 6 sugar points. When Yuzuha has EX Special, Faster EX Special, or an ultimate hits an enemy, all of the squad mates get the Tanuki Wish effect. What is the Tanuki Wish effect, you ask? Well, Tanuki Wish grants up to 1200 attack and damage by 15% to all of its teammates. But to hit Yuzuha's maximum effect, we need to hit the total of 3000 attack on her stat page before entering the battle to provide the maximum buff for her allies, which lasts up to 40 seconds and repeated triggers resets the duration, meaning it can have 100% uptime. Now on to her additional core passive, the more the merrier. Her additional ability gets satisfied when there is an anomaly agent or a person sharing the same faction, which is Alice. She isn't here right now, so you will have to work with other anomaly agents. Her additional ability scales off of anomaly mastery when it exceeds 100 points, so it can provide up to a maximum of 20% buff to anomaly build-up rate and attribute anomaly and disorder damage. So you need 200 anomaly mastery to max out her additional ability. Keep in mind that this buff is based on anomaly mastery while in combat. Now we need to talk about Yuzuha's EX special, since she is a support agent and support agents are usually built around their EX special. In this case, Yuzuha has 2 EX specials. EX special 1. This is a slower version of her EX special, which is called Cavity Alert. What this basically does is when you press your EX special, she throws a bomb dealing physical damage and hitting the enemy with a heavy attack. Then it inflicts in what's called a Sweet Scare effect. What's a Sweet Scare effect, you might ask? Well, the Sweet Scare effect does a debuff of TOT or damage over time, or it's called Basic Attack Sugar Burst Sparkle when you hit her with an EX special. But what's more interesting about this effect is when you use Yuzuha's EX special to apply the Sweet Scare effect and use another anomaly agent and attack the enemy with the attack of their attribute, it triggers Flavor Match effect against the enemy, changing her attribute of her Sweet Scare effect to the other anomaly agent to perform that attack. Her Sweet Scare effect also increases the build-up anomaly rate for other agents when her Sweet Scare effect is applied, and the anomaly build-up rate is also increased with her damage over time effect. So for example, when you use Yuzuha's EX special to apply the Sweet Scare effect and use another anomaly agent, for example an electric anomaly agent, to apply her electric anomaly, she will thus convert her Sweet Scare from physical anomaly to, for example in this case, electric anomaly. And she builds up that electric anomaly for that agent over time when her Sweet Scare is active. Keep in mind, when Yuzuha's Sweet Scare effect is triggered again on an enemy, their existing favor match state is removed and she cannot trigger non-physical anomalies. For example, Yuzuha cannot trigger Shock Anomaly even though the Shock Anomaly is fully built up for that enemy. You need to use the electric agent to perform that Shock Anomaly. Yeah, I know it's a bit confusing, but in simple terms, all you need to know about her Sweet Scare effect is that she does physical damage and builds up anomaly until another agent hits the enemy with their anomaly attribute, and she just changes her physical damage over time and anomaly build up to that agent's anomaly attribute to massively increase their anomaly damage. But we're still not done yet. When Yuzuha has sugar points, landing a hit with another agent will have Yuzuha attack with her umbrella called Cavity Shot, dealing physical damage, and lands a heavy attack consuming 1 sugar point. This basic attack is considered an aftershock and can be triggered once after every 8 seconds, and the character is invulnerable while using this skill. But confusingly enough, she will also perform basic attack Sugar Burst Sparkles max when hit with a heavy attack from a basic attack, Hard Candy Shock, or an assist follow-up. Sugar Burst Sparkles max will convert and apply anomaly matching the other anomaly type. Now that we know all about her Sweet Scare effect, now we can finally talk about her second EX special. Her second EX special is called Cavity Alert right now. This is basically a faster version of her first EX special. To perform this EX special, press EX special button to activate when doing a dodge counter, quick assist or an assist follow-up, or when a perfect dodge is triggered. Chain attack, Prank off. When performing a chain attack, she does massive amounts of damage and gains 1 sugar point when used. And when performing her ultimate, she performs a powerful strike on enemies in a large area around the character, dealing massive physical damage, and enemies hit by the heavy attack will be inflicted with the Sweet Scare State and Tanuki Wish effect buff to your allies, and she gains 2 sugar points and other members gain 25 energy. W engine Metanuki Morphosis. We need to talk about her signature W engine being Metanuki Morphosis, which gives a base attack of 713 and an advanced energy stat of energy regen of 60%. As per effects of our W engine, when the equippers EX special deals physical damage, their anomaly mastery increases by 30 for 40 seconds. And when the equippers after a shot hits an enemy, meaning when they do damage by being off-field, all squad members' anomaly proficiency increases by 60 for 40 seconds. And only one instance of this effect can exist in this same squad. There is a lot of stuff going on in Yasuo's kit, but she can be summarized by the following buff. Number 1. She provides up to 1200 attack and also provides 15% bonus damage via her core passive. Number 2. She provides up to 20% anomaly build-up rate and 20% anomaly and disorder damage. Number 3. She provides 25 energy to her teammates via her ultimate. Number 4. And she provides decent physical anomaly application, and she also provides teammates elemental anomaly application through various means. She also obviously provides 5 days bonuses, and she also provides a decent and a very good amount of days through her defensive assist. And lastly, she is going to be providing support to her W engine buff as well, but this depends on the W engine itself. So in summary, Yasuo is an insane physical support agent designed for anomaly teams, but she can also be used in attack teams as well. So I would only recommend going for her if you have anomaly agents in your account. If you don't have anomaly agents in your account, you're better off going for Miyabi. Or if you are a new player and wanted to get started with the new agents, you can go for anomaly team. That's fine as well. You can go for Yasuo and then go for either Yanagi or Allen. But that really depends on the roadmap of the new feature agents coming in this new updates. So you will have to follow regular updates as well. Miyabi. What can I say about her? She is one of the strongest anomaly disguised DPS agents in the game. When it comes to raw firepower, no one comes even close to her, and the reason for that is that she is an official Void Hunter rank agent. In Goyo vs Town, it means that she is one of the strongest both in lore and in game as well. Well, the only person who can actually rival against her is Yixuan. Story wise, she was offered the title of Void Hunter rank, but Yixuan rejected it for some reason. So both in game and lore wise, she is the only competitor of Miyabi. Well, enough yapping, and let's talk about her kit. Miyabi's core passive, Searing Cold. Her core passive, Searing Cold, is quite a wall of text. But don't worry about it, I'll explain it to you in digestible bits, so you can understand and decide if you want to pull for her or not. Her core passive deals force damage when she applies Ice Fire to the target, lasting 30 seconds. So it means when you hit an enemy with an attack, Hoshimi Miyabi will apply in what's called an Ice Fire to the target. What this basically means is that when you apply Ice Fire to the target, it increases the anomaly build-up rate of the Frost element by 1 to 1 of Miyabi's crit rate, up to a maximum of 80% of Miyabi's crit rate. So make sure you target up to 80% of her crit rate in the stat page prior to going to battle, so that she can take full advantage of her kit and builds up anomaly gauge faster and trigger free Shatter and Frostbite effect. Note that the element that Miyabi uses is Frost and not Ice. So her anomaly is different to that of Ice, so it can react with other attribute anomalies to trigger massive disorder damage. When Miyabi applies Frostbite to the enemy with Ice Fire, it will consume that Ice Fire to trigger Frostbite Break, dealing frost damage equal to 1500% of Miyabi's attack, and it scales off of crit. Unlike frost damage, which scales off of anomaly proficiency, and all units accumulate 20% more anomaly buildup against the enemies under the Frostburn state, and Hoshimi Miyabi will obtain 1 point of Falling Frost. But here's the catch. Hoshimi Miyabi cannot reapply Ice Fire to these enemies until the Frostburn state expires. So what this actually means is that you will have to wait for the Frostburn state to be automatically removed, or what you can do is use another teammate to trigger Disorder, which will cause Frostburn state to be removed, and this effect can only be triggered once every 10 seconds. Here's the TLDR if you still don't understand how it works. Number 1. Before even going to battle, obtain 80% crit rate in her stat page if you can, At least aim for getting as close to 80% as much as possible. Number 2. Hit the enemy to apply Ice Fire and build up Cage to apply Frostpunk Break. Number 3. Use your teammates to apply their anomalies to trigger Disorder, which will cause massive amounts of damage, and you can reapply the Ice Fire again to the enemy as Miyabi, which will give you 1 point of Fallen Frost. But wait, there's more. Additional ability, Fast Skin Frost. Don't worry, this is an easy and simple one. What is her additional abilities, you ask? Well, her additional ability is that when another agent in your squad is a support agent or is the same faction as HSO6, aka Section 6, which includes Yanagi, Sokaku, Karumasa, and of course Hoshimi Miyabi herself, it increases her basic attack Shimotsuki's damage by 60%, and when another squad member triggers Disorder, Hoshimi Miyabi will obtain 2 points of Fallen Frost, and her basic attack Shimotsuki during the next Shimotsuki stance will ignore 30% of the target's ice resistance. So basically, just use a support character or a character from the same faction to get a massively comical damage increase. By the way, do you remember the Fallen Frost points we are getting through her kit? Well, there are 2 more ways you can get Fallen Frost, combined to a total of 3 ways. Number 1, 2 points from using her EX special, 3 points from getting her ultimate, and 1 from her kit through Frostpunk Break. Well, why would you want Fallen Frost points anyway? The reason lies in her basic attack, especially in her basic attack Shimotsuki, which does 4282.8% damage multiplier when consuming all 6 of her Fallen Frost points. This does basically more damage than an ultimate of all of the agents in this game, and the only one being close to a damage potential is Yishuan. But even then, Yishuan basically does around roughly 6000% damage multiplier when using both of her ultimates, while Miyabi does around 9000% damage multiplier when using her charged basic attack and instantly going for an ultimate. But wait, there's more. When you pair her up with Lycion and Sokaku, you get an E with insanely high damage bonus, which is still one of the highest damage teams in this game, and surprisingly very cost effective, but they are difficult to use. EX Special, Hisetsu. Before talking about her EX Special, keep in mind that you don't want to use her normal special attack Miyuki, but you always want to try and use her charged EX special attack Hisetsu. And even in the special attack, there are 2 versions of Hisetsu that you need to be worried about. The first version is when you use her EX special, she will dash in front of the enemy and gain 2 Fallen Frost points. And the second version of her EX special is that when you perform her EX special and when you have enough energy left, you can press the EX special button again in quick succession to do her alternative animation of her EX special, which does higher amounts of damage and gives 2 Fallen Frost points as well. Chain attack, Spring's Call. Also, her chain attack does a decent amount of damage in a large area, but compared to her other abilities in her kit, it is not very interesting. So let's move on to her ultimate. Her ultimate Lingering Snow has the highest damage multiplier in this entire game, dealing a total of whopping 4776.1% damage multiplier, which is absolutely crazy. Not only she does crazy damage, but she has such a wide area of attack, which then pauses for a moment and does a finishing move, dealing massive amounts of frost damage. This gives Miyabi 3 Fallen Frost points and increases the ice damage by 30% for 12 seconds. W Engine, Hailstorm Shrine. Lastly, we need to talk about her W Engine. Her W Engine name is Hailstorm Shrine, which is surprising the best engine for her, providing a base attack of 743 and an advanced stat of 24% crit rate when you fully maxed it out. With her W engine effects giving crit damage increased by 50%, and when you're using her EX special or when any squad member applies an attribute anomaly to an enemy, the equiper's ice damage increases by 20%, stacking up to 2 times. So hitting 2 times gives 40% ice damage, and it lasts for 15 seconds. The duration of each stack is calculated separately, so undoubtedly, it is the best engine for her. There is still more to talk about both of these agents, but I have to keep it short so it doesn't get confusing and it gets you the best instead on which one to pull for. Because I only covered the main advantages, which are the selling points on why you should even get them in the first place. But if you want my recommendations, if you're a newbie or not very good at the game, I would highly recommend one from Miyabi. Because considering how easy she is to play her, and how much damage you can get out of her with low difficulty and how broken she is honestly laughable. But if you already have anomaly agents in your account and you want to make them even better, or you already have Miyabi and you want to know if pulling for Yasuha is worth it or not, I'd say it's very much worth it to go for Yuzuru as she is one of the best anomaly supports right now. She even surpasses Astra in certain scenarios, but not every scenario, because both Astra Royale and Yuzuru have clear distinctions, with Astra being the best attack agent support and Yuzuru being the best anomaly agent support. While Yuzuru can work with attack agents and provides very good buffs, but she can't use her full potential of her kit like Astra Yao does with her attack agent team. So anyways, looks like we've reached the end of this video. So who you're pulling for? Tell me in the comments below, and anyways, it's enough yapping. Please like and subscribe, and bye bye.